But my point is, when you erase everything from you, right? And then you have other individuals who feel like their culture is their prison, right? Because I'm native, I have to live out here in this reservation that has nothing. So they're in prison and we're orphaned. They're trying to escape into our reality that's going to erase everything about them. There's a lot of work to do. And I'm not saying that to be a Debbie Downer. I'm saying that to inspire warriors to be creative.
Yes, sir.
This individual right here, he put a vinyl together.
I appreciate it. Well, first, that was March 4th, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? First, if you remember in 2005 at Cal State LA, Mecha Nationals, I was actually at that time, I wasn't even March 4th, bro, but I remember sitting in circle with you and Victor. You know what I mean? All the brothers, all the students that were there, all the youth, you know, just trying to, like you said, reconnect with our tonal, you know, and just, so I had written some rhymes, you know, and I don't think I'd even gotten on the stage yet, you know, but I was like, it was a hip hop workshop and El Vu was there and I was like, I'm there. And then at the end, you know what I mean? Y'all were like, okay, if anybody has, you know, something they want to share, something they want to spit, you know, then this is your time. And it came to me, man, and I won't lie, man, I was nervous as hell, you know what I mean? But I was like, I need to do this. I felt like y'all connected in a real powerful way. And I said, man, let me do it. So I did it, man. I pulled out my best verse, you know, or two. And I spit it flawlessly. I didn't even mess up a word. So that was the main concern for me, was like, I need to not fumble my words and you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I could cuss or not?
Yeah. No, this is a free platform.
Yeah, there we
It's
go.
not.
So, you know, I was like, fuck, man, you know, I did it. I actually did it. And then Victor looks at me and he's like, hey, bro, that was dope, man.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate your energy, homie. That was nice. But then he said, you know what, though? I said, what, you know, what's coming? He's like, look at folks around you and in front of you when you perform, when you rap, when you share, when you put energy out into the world. You know, and I learned later on, know that the eyes are the window to the soul, right? Our eyes tell a lot. You know, I'm a therapist by day. You know, I'm a mental health therapist. I work with youth in South LA.
Oh, cool.
You know, homeless youth, we house them, you know, and stuff like that. And I feel like not only the streets, you know, that raised me, but also just, you know, the older homies, you know what I mean? The older homies would always give me game, you know what I mean? And my intuition is 100, bro. My perception is 100% all the time, bro.
Right.
I sense vibes really well. I sense people really well. And so at the time I was like, what does he mean? You know what I mean? But I was so focused on myself, like you said, on my individualism of I want to come off good, that I forgot that I need to look at people around me because they're the ones that are receiving. So if my heart is pure, if my heart is true, then they'll receive it in a much more powerful way if I look at them in the eyes, you know?
Wow.
And so that was the message I got from Victor and all of you brothers. So, and then it's a trip because at the end of that conference, I was up front seeing y'all perform. Y'all were performing. And then y'all brought me on stage and I rapped. That was probably the first time I ever rapped on stage.
Wow.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
crazy.
That's
People that know me, March
crazy.
4th, Warlock One knows March 4th. You know, I started music as a rapper, but even going further back, which we're going to get into in a bit, is, you know, I learned how to play guitar and sing as a young kid, but hip hop grabbed my attention. And so, you know what I mean? That is the first memory I have of you.
That's crazy.
Shout out to DJ Warlock One. He's actually going to be performing
So shout out to Warlock.
He produced Doctrine of Discovery.
June 25th.
Yeah. So that's shout out
My
to him.
Central American brother right there.
Man, he's a beast on the beats. He's like nonstop. It's cool.
Most
That's
definitely.
that's the only way to like kind of be a master at that. You know?
Yeah, so, but you're right, man. I got a vinyl now. Honestly, I would have never even imagined that to actually happen. I had, you know, I'll just kind of summarize, you know what I mean? But basically, you know, I love doing the hip hop, rapping, putting a message out there, man. And the brother right here was talking about, you know, getting political and shit like that, man. All my stuff was political, bro. Like, I didn't even know how to market it because people were like, man, you're talking about everything. Like, you're talking about everything that's going on right now. You know, politics, the government, you know, environmentalism in the streets, in the hood, like homies like tripping and like everything, bro. And I was connecting the dots and everything. So when I would get on stage, it would be like me, like yelling at motherfuckers, you know what I mean? Like me getting out there and just like, you need to hear this. But, you know, people grow, people, you know, like everyone, right? We try to progress as human beings on this planet, right? And so I realized I want to talk about different things. I want to talk about, you know, relationships. I want to talk about, you know, just hanging out, man, having a good time. You know what I mean? Just connecting with familia. You know what I mean? Different things that I felt like the hip hop outlet wasn't providing, or that people wouldn't really receive it. You know what I mean? If I were to just switch it up and do a whole album like that, you know what I mean? So, you know, I went back to my roots in playing guitar and singing. You know, for me, you know, I won't even lie. You know, I first started singing and playing guitar in the church, right? You know what I mean? So, like many, you know, other folks in LA that are brown, you know, our parents forced us to go to church.
Okay, so let's stop right there real quick.
Yeah.
I like it when people go, I'm not going to lie, I started off in the church.
Yeah.
Let me put this into perspective. When they came, they brought a Bible. That Bible got spread all across this fucking Turtle Island. Not fucking Turtle Island, but all across our continent. Fucking was their religion. That's what I said fucking for. Because we shouldn't be ashamed, or not that you were, or cautious about saying that.
Yeah.
Because when you say that and you go, but I don't go there no more,
Yeah.
or I've understood what they are, then they have no power. But if we never talk about it, if we are like, oh, well, I was kind of there, but you know, it's like, it's not your fault.
Well,
come on, dude. They came with the sword that transformed into a gun, that transformed into a machine gun, that now is transforming into a vaccine. So, I mean, they're coming with everything.
You know what?
All the time.
From my experience in the entertainment industry, it started in a church too. I went in church. Dudes were playing the guitar. People were singing.
Hello, you know, I started in the church too. Why? Why is the church so fucking common? Because they forced us to go. You would get beaten. Yeah. You would get killed. Try to be native from back then until now. You won't. I was just the Battle of Little Bighorn. You know what it's about? It was about Sitting Bull and Crazy Horse refusing to go to reservations. That's the Battle of Little Bighorn. So what did they say? Fuck those guys. Those guys are hostile. Those guys are breaking our word. Like, we're telling them to go to the reservation and they're saying, fuck you. So fuck them. Right? That's the Battle of Little Bighorn.
Wow.
They refused to go to the reservations and won a battle against the U.S. Army. What did that say? That said, even in the spirit realm, we're not going to ever give in. We're putting it all on the line in a battle that our great leader said we would win. That's the Battle of Little Bighorn.
So
it's the ultimate.
That's yeah, and I appreciate those words, bro. Because you know, the way I look at life is just we are a product. I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't have the conciencia. I wouldn't have the understanding. I wouldn't, you know, be able to reach out to people that were in lost identities if I hadn't gone through that. You know what I mean? Like, I have a really thick analysis of the church, of the government, of our gente at this point in time because of that. So I accept that history that I had, and I, to a certain extent, appreciate it for a little bit. So, you know, I learned how to play guitar. when I was there. I had a whole live band backing me. I was 7 years old, bro, 8 years old.
That's crazy. See, that's cool.
I was singing to hundreds of people at the old LA Sports Arena.
That's cool.
You know what I mean? And then I learned these cats, the older cats were like from El Salvador, Guatemala, Mexico, and they would teach me how to play boleros and all this old 60s, 70s stuff that a lot of, you know, hip-hoppers sample and stuff like that, beat makers. And I learned it from the source, bro. Like from the gente that literally like crossed the border with their guitar still in hand and made it over here to continue playing, no matter what shape or form they were going to do it. And so, you know, I told my dad, you know, I'm not going to sing in the church no more. And he was cool with it. And then later on, I picked it up here and there. I took a class, you know, at LACC, another one at Santa Monica. Nothing really stuck, but my teachers all said I was really good. My teachers all said I had a good amount of talent. So continue it, you know. So, and I respect, I mean, these are white guys, you know. And I'm just a fool from the hood coming, you know, driving to Santa Monica and taking a class and just being like, oh, okay, damn, maybe I should listen.
Why? Because they're white?
Yeah, you're right? No, because they have, you know, because they're in the front of the class, and maybe because they're white, right? No, and that's the thing.
I'm just fucking with you.
No, and that's the thing too. You know what? You know what trips me out, bro? You know what trips me out? The person that politicized me was a white guy, bro, at Santa Monica, bro, from the Bay. You know what I mean? He was in a sociology class.
You know what we should do? We should define these people, right? Maybe he's not a white guy, because a white guy would be more about somebody who is white supremacist, somebody who disrespects the land.
I like that, yeah.
Right? A white human is a white human. There's no political undertone. There's no superiority thing, right? White guys have to prove that they're better than you. White humans are white humans. They'll teach you information. They taught me information. I've taught them information. You know, it's a white human.
Yeah. So he was part of the ISO, you know, the Internationalist Socialist Organization.
Usually they are.
Wow.
And you know what I mean? But what tripped me out is the teacher was talking and he interrupted him and was like, yeah, no, you're wrong. Abe Lincoln had slaves. And I was like, what is this weirdo doing right here, dog? Like, you know what I mean? But I liked it because he like totally stopped the teacher in his tracks. You know, they didn't know how to respond. But yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not saying it might have been, but at the end of the day, they were in front of the class and I was paying to be there. And I was like, well, okay, you know, they might have something going. I might have something going, you know, and
it's always good. It's always good to be inspired. I mean, believe it or not, if I go back to the thing that inspired me to be a vocalist or somebody that does, it was at I was forced to go to Christian elementary school, right? And they had this play, and I happened to sing in that play. And it's just like what the brother said. The teacher said, oh, wow, I'm sure she was just being nice. I don't think she really meant it now that I think about it, but she's all, you have a good voice. You should be a singer. And then wham, that fucking seed gets planted in your head. And now you go off on this quest of, you know, wanting to be a singer, right? So it's not so much the color of skin or where you got this seed planted in you. It's what's going to grow out of that seed.
Right.
It's not so much who planted it, what type of, because she didn't know she was going to inspire me to be a front man for anything.
But generally, you know, white people are the ones in the forefront of that industry.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Of that sound, you know? Yeah. And some people look for that validation. For me, you know, I don't see color. You know, I just see work ethic and merit.
It's good.
That's what I base it out of. You know what I'm saying?
That's very good qualities to
But
judge.
I'm not gonna lie and tell you I've never seeked their approval. You know what I'm saying? At one point in my career, if I ever had a job interview or I was trying to close something that I thought was really important, there was a white dude. You know, we all ran into those situations where like, fuck, hopefully I could get validated, where you seek that false reality.
That's the power of white supremacy.
Am I right?
Though.
And you know, this video.
But that's the power of white supremacy.
And maybe it was indoctrinated because of my mom and dad. You know?
Well, yeah, they tell you. Of course, they'll tell you. They'll tell you. They'll be the first ones to tell you. Oh, it's a white guy. Listen to him. He knows what's up. And for some reason, the color of skin and color
Man,
of eyes.
my dad, bro, is the worst, dude. Like, he calls them experts.
Yeah, there you go.
Dude.
No, I get it.
CNN tells my father that they're experts, bro.
Yeah,
Mijo, listen to the experts.
yeah,
Wear your mask.
yeah. The experts. The experts of what? Lying. They're fucking the biggest liars in the world.
And then how can I, argue with my father about that? I'm just like, fuck,
You're not
Dad.
supposed to.
No,
You're not
yeah.
supposed to.
I'm like, damn.
Let them be
man.
comfortable in there. And
These
you know-
motherfuckers convince the elders that
back
they're
to it.
experts now?
No, well, here's how you justify the fact that you just kind of like let it be. One time I was talking to my older sister. She's about 8 years older than me, and I started really okay. You want to have a conversation? Let's have a conversation. Here it is, and I start breaking down a lot of things, and in the middle of our conversations, I'll stop. I just don't want to know anymore. I just don't want to know anymore. I'd rather be in a place where I don't know, and that's where sometimes our parents get driven too.
Ignorance is bliss.
Right? Like, I'd rather listen to the guy who has a suit, who lives in $1 million apartment, who has no idea of what it's like to be poor, tell me how it is in my hood. He's not an expert of anything. Let's be clear. But I'm not going to argue with your dad about it. I'm going to say, oh, you're right, sir. You're right. Why? He's happy. He's happy being educated by them, right? But all of us aren't born the same, Armando. Like, I get it. Some people want to feel that validation by somebody who has white skin and blue eyes, right? But once you study their true history, you won't seek it anymore.
Right. And I grew up in an environment where my mom used to work at a glass factory, right? And they would go to these company, gatherings.
Yeah.
Right? Nothing but raza. But the head honcho, the boss, big white dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? It fucked me up, bro.
Yeah.
I was looking at my mom like, man, I'm gonna do my best to get us out of this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's and that what motivated me to continue to grind with Underground Hip Hop Blog, to propel something that we started from scratch.
Yeah.
Without anyone's validation, because in the music industry, it's colorless.
Yeah.
It's more about greed.
Or I mean, yeah, we label it, but ultimately, at the end of the day, once you look at wrong not being wrong and right not being right, it's all about organization and execution and intention. That's the mastery of the dream.
But he was always the nicest dude in the room. Right? My mom's direct supervisor or boss, who was, in charge of the whole gathering, the most respectful dude. You know what I'm saying? But it fucked me up at the same time.
Well, because
They'll trick you, bro.
What?
Because my mom's first generation, my father's first
okay, wait a
generation,
minute. Let me break that down real quick.
And then as a kid, I would ask my mom, Mom, how come he's the only white dude in the fucking building? Oh, well, he's the boss.
Yeah. He's the owner.
Yes.
He's the owner.
Yes.
He's not the boss. He's the owner. Okay? And tell me what, back in the days when there were slaves, plantation, you think that fucking owner's going to walk around like an asshole if all the slaves are doing what they're supposed to do?
Right.
And are happy for getting pennies?
And what really fucked me up,
They're not going to be they're going to be super happy. They're going to be the nicest guy in the room.
At
Of course,
this-
yeah.
at
You,
this-
you want to work for nothing? Cool.
at
Keep
this
going.
company party, whoever showed up, there was a bonus check waiting for them for $1,000.
Right. After he made millions. Right.
Yeah.
Here, $1,000. Here we go. Fuck. I got to do overtime, triple time. Like, fucking had to fucking not see my
you're
kid.
rich.
I couldn't go to his fucking basketball game. I had to work 12 hours a day.
Yeah, and exactly zero. My mom was working 10, 12-hour days.
Dude, come on, man. Like, I'm, man, we're going to be up for a challenge and a half because, I'm sitting there in the park today and I'm looking at different versions of Chicanos or different versions of indigenous individuals. There's individuals that their parents grinded to the bone and didn't spend any time with them, didn't build any relationship with them, yet they feel like, wow, my dad did it all for me, right? And he sacrificed so much. So now I have to go into my generation and I have to grind just as hard. And guess what? My little kid, he's going to suffer twice as much as me because I didn't have enough time or guts or ability to create a connection with my own creation. The most important creation you could ever have on this earth is create a human being.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that your parents are bad or they were forced into this situation because they were taught, work harder, work longer, work until you can't work no more. Right. But what about when you have a kid? Can you do that still? No, you shouldn't. We have to break colonial perspective, right? What is the colonial perspective?
Rewired brain.
You know, the colonial perspective is be a slave because you will always be a slave and you will be nothing more than a slave. And 14 hours, you should look at that as a short day, right?
Yep.
That's the way they think.
You get your
that
overtime.
nice guy in the room that fucking walked around, the nice guy, that's what he's saying.
And the whole mentality, what I always get fucked up is the whole mentality of my parents looking forward to overtime really screwed me up too.
Yeah, because they're trying to, they're using their love for you and exploiting it to the bone, It's the Willie Lynch letter. Look at that letter. Read that letter and you'll understand how one white guy could own this whole plantation and keep everybody psychologically fucked up, right? But right now, the whole world turned into a plantation.
Yep.
There it is.
The whole world turned into fucking plantation. Right now, right? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Well, the fucking mask that we wear, right? How people are divided and confused. They're confused about what? What are they confused about? Air? Now I'm even me, like I'm fucking walking to the store going, oh shit, I forgot my mask. That
was me this morning.
Dude, it's a psychological Willie Lynch fucking style.
I got one for you.
There you
bro.
go.
There we go.
I got your mask right here. Don't worry about it.
That's sick right there. So, Viaje, you just released a new track on YouTube
Yeah,
called
bro.
One Last Time, right?
Most definitely. I want to just.
All right,
hit
guys.
it on the nail.
Real quick, we're
Yeah.
gonna get into this track.
And then I'll talk about it.
Yep, and we'll go ahead and talk about it.
Ever since I was a little kid, all I ever wanted to be was a gangster. I was searching for that connection, that hermandad, that love. I traveled the world looking for that special girl to share that love. Little did I know, that love was right here. I'm Viaje Calíche, and this is One Last Time.
Let's go home one last time.
Pretty dope video, man.
Thanks, bro.
What's the name of the song?
Low budget as hell. One last time.
One last time. It didn't look low budget. This is raw, color corrected.
No, for the vibe and for the genre and for the sound, it's just like the Lakesiders type vibe.
I'm letting y'all know, y'all don't need a lot of money to make it look nice. You know what I mean?
Oh man, I really wish that sometimes we'd take another look at that, because
it's an indigenous track though.
No, but sometimes it's just a camera angle. Sometimes it's just a color correction. It's a really good song. I think it looks cool.
I appreciate that, bro. Yeah,
because the bigger budget videos,
I made it.
You know why they make bigger budget videos? Because they have to spend the money. You know what I mean? You don't want to have $5 million on your shit.
It's laying around.
Just be like, oh yeah, at the end of the year. No, they make a big video because their budget allows it.
They won't give you that next year if you don't use it.
Yeah, right? Well, they're gonna tax you on it, and who wants to give away fucking $350,000? I'd rather spend that on a video. Right. And that's a bigger video.
And I love that your foundation, your roots are from the hip hop scene.
Yeah, bro, most definitely. And yeah, I mean,
it has that oldie vibe, right? That oldie.
March 4th, all my stuff. Yeah, oldie vibe. You know what I mean? And I never learned how to produce in hip hop, but I always wanted to, because I had that connection to all the vinyl my pops used to play, bro, on his old Techniques 1200, bro, like 1963 stuff all the way up to 1975, man, from all over the world and here, right, in the U.S., but yeah, man, just to finish what I was saying, man, like I learned how to play the guitar. I came back to it. I feel like my life has been a circle, bro. Like it's always like that. It's a circle. It's like I left LA to go get my degree up north to come back and help the gente that needed the most. Because that's where Creator wanted me. And that's where he wants me right now. So I have a larger purpose, and that's why I'm doing my music. But, and we'll get in, I think we'll get into the vinyl after, because the song, so, I mean, we were talking about validation, right? Yeah. And that's what this song is about, is not seeking that, being confident in yourself, in your abilities, in your own power, and specifically, it's about relationships, right? I'm talking to the girl. The car is a metaphor for like love, a guy, a boy, a man. And I'm coming in trying to let her know, like, you don't need to play that role. You don't need to act like something in order to get that validation or get whatever you want. The best way to get what you want is being organic, being yourself, being true to your roots, right? And so that's what it's about. It's definitely about that. And self-love, I think a lot of the youth are talking about self-care and self-love and just, not selling yourself short and healing, a lot of healing from a lot of the traumas that we've all been through and focusing on yourself. And then again, whatever it is you want, if it's love, if it's money, if it's a career, connection, it'll happen. It'll happen in due time. Just stick to the course and be yourself. So that's what it's about.
The challenging of perspective is just that, one has to figure out what your life is, right? And what I mean by that is it for Armando is like, oh wow, I want to be the best promoter in Los Angeles. I want to be in the best shows with indigenous talent here, and that's going to result in whatever that results in for Armando. Mine is to bring these superfoods back to the reservations, right? Bringing back nutrition, hopefully nutrition will bring back health. Hopefully health will bring back ceremony. We need that. And hopefully ceremony will bring back that healing that we're talking about. Yeah. But we're in a very a peculiar time, because I feel like social media kind of gives the youth their direction. Yeah. And it's so impermanent. It's so quick that they're changing like in a week or 2 weeks, a month. I remember when we got into a scene, it was like, oh, fuck, he's going to be like, when I was into my Rasta scene, my mom it was like about fucking 8 years of that, right? But now it's like, oh, what's up with my son? And it's so quick, and it's because it doesn't have any merit, any true outcome, right? So look for sources that do have that. Look for sources so that we can bring about healing, but a healing that doesn't require you to have a nice house or a nice car, but just a healed perspective, so that when you go to the park with your kids, you enjoy it. You're not worried about how am I gonna make this car payment. How am I gonna make this fucking mortgage payment for this house that I rarely use? You know what I mean? Like rooms that are not being utilized. I think we're at that time where, since social media is so fragmented, the ones that have true sources will have following, consistency, and support.
That's it, man.
Creating your own reality.
And I appreciate that. I've been getting a lot of love from this song and video, man.
It's
honestly,
good, it's a good song.
Like you were saying, people really gravitate towards it because, like I said, they might have their own traumas that they need to like have that reminder of like, look, I gotta continue on this course of healing. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I'm really excited. I'll say this, and I can't say much more, but that song's gonna be on vinyl, bro. I don't know exactly when, but in the near future. But previously to that, this is the first record I put out. This is a full length, right? So this is Viaje, Calíche, Solstice. Came out in 2019. That was the first thing. I think a lot of my followers were just, my familia were just like stuck on the hip hop. And so I had to, because I was doing a whole new project. It was different. When I wasn't rapping, I had to just come with a full length, bro. I had to let them know, like, no, this is it now. Like that's a phase that closed in my life. A journey that came to an end, and I got this new thing. And my life's a trip. Like I said, it's a circle, bro. Because like even this would never have come out, bro, if I wouldn't have broken my ankle. I broke my ankle, bro, and I had some disability left over, and with that, I printed this vinyl out, bro.
Wow.
Like, and during that time, how a lot of people were talking about in COVID. Oh, like you're quarantined, so you can reflect on your life and look what you need to let go and what you need to. I was on that path in 2019. I broke my ankle 2016. And 2019.
We shouldn't. I'm sorry. I'm stuck on one thing. We shouldn't call it quarantine. Quarantine is for people who are sick.
Lockdown.
Yes.
Lockdown.
They asked us to stay home.
Yeah. It's lockdown, bro.
That wasn't quarantine. Quarantine is for people who are sick.
There we go.
Okay? Get it straight. We have to be straight, as sharp as an arrow from this point on.
I like
you know what I mean?
Bro. I appreciate the reminders, bro.
And I don't mean to correct you, bro. I just, because I'm doing it in a way that our audience understands. If I see a moment where clarity can be shined on, and that's one big moment. We were not quarantined. We were told to stay home. You can't leave home. That's what my whole new single's about. Global pandemic, dude. Mask required. That's gonna be the new single.
Nice.
So anyway, sorry.
Yeah, bro. No, all good. And that happened to me back in 16, bro, 2016, and I stopped drinking alcohol, bro. It's been almost 3 years now.
Good.
I had to leave a lot of amistades, a lot of friends, and focus on what I really wanted to do with my life, bro. I had a couple of friends pass away. One, Gabriel, and I forget his last name, bro, and I should know, but he was an old school like skater, man. Like he started Chocolate, the brand of skating, with a bunch of other legendary skaters. He passed away. He was right down the street from me. And then brother Carlos Zaragoza, bass player for La Chamba, big, LA cumbia band and stuff. And I was just like, man, but at the time I was drinking, bro, and I couldn't express my sadness and my anger. And I said, this gotta stop. You know what I mean? I never got into aside from the malinali, which is medicina, I wouldn't even count that as a drug. I never got into other stuff, but I was like, this is poison for me, bro. This alcohol is poison. And I made a promise to Creator, bro, and sweat. You know what I mean? In Temescal. And to this point, it's been going good. And
well, that's another thing that's amazing. The difference between going to a church and saying, hey, I'm going to stop doing this, that's revolving around your own will. But when you go and you make a promise in the Temescal, that is a different experience, because in the Temescal, in the sweat lodge, in the Nipi, you are experiencing discomfort, right? And in that discomfort, you feel duress, like you feel a little bit of stress on that. And you're putting a promise. So you're remembering that uncomfortable state and going, that uncomfortable state, that's going to remind me not to go back to something that was harmful to me.
Mm-hmm. That's
right?
what it was, bro.
So you encoded your blood at that moment. And you've had a 3-year commitment with that encoding. That's dope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro. And
that's a powerful thing to do.
And yeah, I appreciate that, bro. And it was just healing. You know, I needed to talk about, you know, some relationships where, you know, traumatic for me, as well as I was the one, you know, handing out that trauma to my partners at the time. And I had to write about it, bro. And it's on this album. It's on Solstice. It's on this vinyl. And, you know, like we were talking earlier, bro, it's a moment in time that I can say, and I could always go back to, and people could always go back to and say, look, this is history. You know, this is her story. You know, like this is everything for that time. And, you know, I just followed it up, like I said, with this single, but also a couple others before this. Algorithm was a single I put out in February. It's on social media, Spotify, all the streaming sites. That was dedicated to Carlos Zaragoza, because I never had a chance to close that connection I had with them in this physical realm.
Algorithm?
Rhythm,
AI?
like ritmo, rhythm.
AI?
Algo, huh?
Oh, algorithm.
Algorithm. Yeah, so it's like the Spanish, it's in Spanish, you know, and algorithm, you know what I mean? I just wanted to like flip that algorithm shit, you know what I mean? And
you know what AI is though, right?
Yeah, I know what AI is. Artificial intelligence.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, finish your thought, because I don't want to fucking. But I want to say something about AI. Go on.
Oh yeah. No, and so you know that
I like that name though. It's dope.
Yeah,
it's
bro.
Cool flipping it in a good way.
Algorithm, bro. You know, the brother Carlos was just a happy soul, bro. Happy person. Big on Justicia, man. He was always at the protests and marches. He went to I believe UCLA and still was out there in the community, bro, doing hard work. And I had to represent for him, bro. And you know, I talked to his family. I just cut him a little bit of the percentage of what I made from it, and it's all love, bro. That's the least I could do, you know, for, you know, before he passed away. And he's half Salvi like my folks, so we had a strong bond. You know, I only met him once at a party in East Los in July, and he was like, yeah, man, you know, I'm you know, I did music, but I took a break, but I'm still kind of like into it, you know. And I was like, listen to my stuff, listen to this record. He listened to it and he liked it, and he's like, when you guys practice? I'm like, man, we got practice in like 3 weeks. Passed away, unfortunately. I mean, you could Google that. That's a long story, bro. But unfortunately, him and his pops passed away. And so again, that was trauma, bro. I had to get it out, and I put it on that rola algorithm, and it's just healing, bro. Music has always been healing for me, and I just been blessed that people accept this message and relate to it. And so far, you know, I'm here, man. I'm not going anywhere. You know what I mean?
Cool. Wow. Yeah. It was cool to feature you. I mean, the record sounds dope. The song is dope.
Gracias,
man. I mean,
gracias.
And you're clever, man. You're clever about it. So it's going to be continuous and endless as long as you do it. Art. I mean, even myself, you know, a lot of people always tell me like, you know, your platform isn't as big as it is, but my platform's a little different. Like everybody that's on my platform, like really responds to whatever I decide to do musically or workshop and all that stuff. But it just takes a continuous, endless investment. And I'm glad that you're still doing it, because, I mean, man, 2004 was a while ago.
05.
Yeah, 05 exactly. is a while ago, and
you
still,
guys definitely have history.
You're still grinding it, and you're still putting out quality products, and
that drive, that initiative to reach out to us and say, "Yo, dude, is there any way I could get featured?" That's what you need, minimum requirement in this industry, right? Zero, just
have a product
forward.
Have a product. If you don't have a product, don't try to push it.
Keep hitting other outlets. You know what I'm saying? I'm just so happy that we caught your attention.
Most definitely, you know, and you know, I'm gonna talk to Brother Zero right here afterwards. You know, I want to build more with them. You know, we run in the same circles basically, bro. And I want to support everything you got, this movimiento, bro. You know, getting out to our gente, man, our indigenous folks, man. We need each other right now.
Yeah.
It's not certain people need us or I need, no, we need each other. We need to unite. Right now is the time for all the nations to unite, bro.
Right.